The tragedy is that it's very smart people that are very articulate, that often many of their ideas are valid. They have very valid ideas, and even their view of economics are correct. But then they'll take those views and they'll turn them into market predictions or market forecasts. Based on my academic knowledge, based on my economic forecast, this is what's going to happen in the market. So we're going to take an example of that today. And what we're going to do is visit one of our smart friends, which is Peter D. Schiff. And this book called The Real Crash Ahead, How to Save Yourself and Your Country and America's Coming Bankruptcy. Now, the thing I like about this title is it says, How to Save Your Country. And when he's talking about how to save your country, I believe that he actually has a good understanding of economics. He understands free market principles. He understands reducing debt. He understands a tremendous amount about the Fed. This is one smart guy. And I believe that his heart is absolutely in the right place. So let's look at an example of where I think Peter absolutely has it right.
This year's election seems to be all about corporations against the people. At least that's what you'd think if you listen to some of the commentary. Our next guest, Peter Schiff of Euro Pacific Capital and author of the book The Real Crash, went into the belly of the beast, into the heart of the Democratic National Convention to see what they had to say.
Do we need corporate profits?
Maybe we should just have corporate losses.
Well, I don't want to go that far. You actually want to force corporations to lose money?
Yeah, I think so.
One issue is corporations have profits, and I want to ban those profits so that the workers can have higher wages and that the consumers can get lower prices.
That is obviously something I would be in favor in.
Would you be in favor of a law that banned corporate profits?
Corporate profits?
Profits, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Would you support President Obama if he came out in favor of a law to ban corporate profits?
Yes.
If you're talking just pure profit,
yeah, the stuff that's left over for the greedy capitalists.
I could actually support that.
Now, Peter, were you surprised by what you heard down there? It's an interesting video, but did any of that come as a surprise to you?
Not really. I mean, this is the Democratic ideology. And, you know, when you watch the video, remember, I'm talking to delegates. Delegates are supposed to be more informed than the population in general. So this is what the Democrats really think. These are the Democrats that are most involved in the issues, that made the trip all the way to North Carolina. This is what they think.
Now, how can you bridge that gap, though? Because you and I both know, as rational people, that if corporations don't make profit, they're in fact not incented to hire anyone at all. Is there a way to come to some sort of common meeting ground, or is everyone on both sides just way too entrenched on this profits versus people issue?
Well, I don't think so. And first of all, of course, you know, corporations are simply a group of people who come together and incorporate. I mean, that's what they are. So to say that they don't represent people, they are people. But I think what you have is you have this mentality in the Democratic Party that everybody is entitled to something from the government, that everybody is owed something, and that the people that owe it to them are the rich. And nothing embodies the rich more than corporations and corporate America. And so when you say corporate profits to a Democrat, you know, it's kind of like, you know, holding up a cross to a vampire. You know, they shudder at the thought of it. And it must be evil. It must be bad. And anything that minimizes or limits profits must therefore be a good thing.
Now, is there anything coherent, and you and I are two guys who don't speak a foreign language discussing the intricacies of one, but what about a company? What about a cap? Is there any specific here, or is it just kind of you and I should wear pitchforks and we're evil? And, I mean, is there a dollar amount? Is there something we can grip in terms of even talking to these folks?
Yeah, I never got into that much specifics about where to cap corporate profits, but the whole idea that they should be capped, that there's some limit, and then if they earn more than that, it's too much. People somehow think that when companies profit, they do it at the expense of the economy, that somehow individuals suffer because corporations are making a profit. They don't understand that it's the pursuit of private profit that is the reason that all the consumer goods are provided, that all the services are provided. And of course, what do corporations do with those profits? they reinvest the bulk of them to growing their businesses, to making them more productive, to providing even more jobs. The idea that profits are evil, they're not. I mean, they're virtuous. I mean, profits are the most important part of a free market economy.
How does this play into the election?
Well, I don't know if it's going to play into the elections. I mean, maybe Romney should use some of this footage in some campaign videos. I think it would be pretty good to let people know what's really going on in the Democratic Party and how far to the left they really would like to go, because maybe it gives you a little window into what Obama might do in his second term when he doesn't have to worry about getting reelected. In fact, I'd like to see Obama repudiate what these Democrats are saying. I don't think he can, because I don't think he wants to alienate his base, because so many people in the Democratic Party feel that way.
Now, do you think that's a mainstream view, though? Because you have the Tea Party on the right. The left would point to that and say...
So not only will he not say it, he doesn't believe it. He believes that Obama himself believes that corporate profits are evil. And what is interesting to me is, first of all, props to Peter Schiff for... You know, I know when you travel and you do things, it takes time, it takes money, it takes resources, and it takes courage. It takes courage to walk into a room of people that are completely on the other side of their beliefs and values and actually talk with them and challenge them. And he did a wonderful, wonderful job here at really getting to the heart of who these people really are and what they believe in. If you kill corporate, I can't believe that even in this convention, you could find one person that would want to outlaw corporate profits. This shows you just how far they've gone. That is Marxism. That is communism. And they are the heart of this party. I mean, it is terrifying what went on in this convention. Kick God out, kick Jerusalem out, apparently kick prophets out. I mean, this is, talk about, you know, radical, far left stuff. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What say you, Mark Witt?
You know, along the same lines, there's, you know, a movie that's making the rounds right now, the movie 2016. And it talks about that, and it's so foreign to the way that I think and that you think and that we all think here that the only way to get rich is to go somewhere else, some foreign country or some other person, take what they have, plunder it, and you become wealthy, they become poor. That's their whole mindset. That doesn't, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's as though, and I know you talk about this some, it's a scarcity mentality is exactly what it is. There are not enough resources to go around, which is not true at all.
Yeah. Roy Wiley says, no profits, no income tax payable, no government revenue.
Oh, yeah, then there's that.
So,
Roy,
or roads
Roy,
or bridges. And
you just have all the companies taken over by the government, you know, and then they decide who buys what products and who works where. Come on, they already have a plan for that. Owning the means of production, that's what they're going for. They broke that. Yes, they did. They sure broke it. So I can really empathize, and there's a big part of me that you know, really applauds Peter's belief in free markets, Peter's belief in America, Peter's belief in fiscal responsibility, a sound dollar. There are a lot of things that I really resonate with Peter on. And I've even talked to him a couple times on the phone, and he is a nice guy. But here's what I don't like. Top of this book, America's Coming Bankruptcy. This is fatalistic. It's like we can't do anything to stop it. You know, it took a Jimmy Carter to get to a Ronald Reagan. I don't know where this goes from here. You know, are we at high risk? Well, sure we are. But, you know, the thing about humanity is things can turn around. But what makes it even worse is this graph right here. This graph would indicate, what, like a 90% loss? I mean, if you invested your money, you're going around and then bam, you 90% of all your wealth. I mean, this is a greater, if you look at the graph and what he's saying here, this is a greater loss than was even experienced in the Great Depression. So he is forecasting, predicting terrible, terrible outcomes. So when this happens, I would say, well, how well has he been able to do in the past? So there's this book, The Real Crash Ahead, How to Save Yourself and Your Country. And he says this in the book. When this is specifically targeting